Good morning, it's Green Juice here, or Green Juice Man I should say, on day 22 of my water fast. Yesterday was a killer by the afternoon. I was feeling so awful, like I can't tell you how bad it felt. It was absolutely awful, and having looked back at it, and also having gone to bed last night, not very late, well, about 10 o'clock, having gone to bed and had quite a good few hours sleep, having the most outrageously deep sort of and odd dreams, and then I wake up in the morning and feel absolutely fine. No hunger, no cravings, nothing at all, just fine. And this is the emotional side of the fast. You know, in the afternoon, a lot of it is due to just being overtired. I've got to try and go to bed. I want to go out tonight. I've got something going on, so I'm going to try and go to bed this afternoon for a few hours. Just you know, get some sleep and see if I can, or you know, wake up again and feel up to going to this activity. Thanks for the comments and the feedback that's been coming in. What do I want to say? A couple of things that people have asked about. One is, oh my goodness, sorry, I'm just looking out the window. It's absolutely teeming down again. We're having a particularly bad, what month is it? October. I've lost the track because I started this in September, so it's odd, isn't it? People asked about if I'm doing any colon cleansing and stuff like that. The answer is I've done two. I've done two cleanses. I did. Sorry, that's just a text coming. Last year I did two. No, not last year. The year before I did a 92-day juice feast, and then I started on a 100-day, but I only got to 30 days and decided to break it. And the 92-day juice feast, I used to cleanse every day, which is really excessive, because I'm an excessive person. I take things to extreme. And the reason I got into the cleansing so much was because I used coffee. I was doing coffee enemas, and of course, guess what? Yep, coffee and enemas are very, very addictive. You get this wonderful caffeine rush without having to drink any coffee. In actual fact, if I remember rightly, it was quite a nice way of taking it. But it was a bit odd because I used to, you know, some people in the morning get used to, or say, oh, I need my coffee, you know, and I was going like, right, come on everybody, get away, you know, I need my bedroom, I need the room. And of course I wanted to go and get this coffee, and you know, I used to hang on as long as possible with it so that I'd get the maximum effect. In fact, it used to, I think the dose you get through that is quite scary. So anyway, on the water fast, obviously I've done two enemas, one after 1 week, one after 2 weeks. The first one was relatively, they were watered. I wouldn't do coffee, never do a coffee one again. It's all learning. And yeah, that was quite good, because that actually did, you know, clear me out a bit. And it's sort of, sorry to be so graphic, I know it's disgusting, but it's part of the human function, and it did sort of get rid of debris that was left in there from food, probably, which wasn't very nice. But the second one was just agony. It was so painful, and nothing really much, you know, it was sort of like a rinse out or something, and I suffered for a couple of days afterwards with sort of severe cramps and things like that. So I haven't found it necessary, and since then, you know, I've had no bowel movements, nothing at all, no desire. It's very odd, you know, because part of the whole sort of human thing is that we eat and we pass. You know, going to the loo is quite a, going to the bathroom, as some people say, in American bathroom. But anyway, I say going to do a bowel movement, a body movement, is part of the human behaviour, and when you don't do it, it's like you're missing, you know, you don't eat, you're missing something massive out of life. Although I feel so positive about it today. But not doing bowel movements either is really an odd thing, you know. It's like part of your life has sort of been taken away for a period of time. But yeah, definitely this is a morning vid, so this is after I've slept a lot. Positive as you know, I am so positive. I've been reading a bit of books here, just been looking at a couple of vids on the computer here, and I'm feeling incredibly positive today. Stats just going, interestingly enough, for the last week, because it's now a week on, that's the end of week 3. Weight loss was a paltry £3 and I think, wow, that's so little. But I don't actually quite believe that that's what it really is, because I think I feel, you know, I could feel differences in my body all the time. It's like my ribs are more apparent, and I think it's more to do with water adjustments all the time and stuff like that. I think that that there is actual body material, fat and stuff is going, regardless of what the weight says. You know, you might lose a pound of fat and then you might gain a pound of water. You know, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so that's that. Blood pressure today was extremely, I've got it written in this little diary here. Today's blood pressure, which was the lowest I've seen, was 86/55. It doesn't seem to be stopping. The only thing is now is getting up quickly and going up. You know, if I try and run upstairs, not a good idea. I'm getting so lightheaded now when I stand up quick. But just moving around in general, walking around, doing normal stuff, as long as I don't do that quick stuff, I'm fine. So I'm not worrying about it at the moment. Still, it is low, I know. It's you know, it's if I wasn't doing this and I'd realised that, you know, read books on it, that your blood pressure does drop, I'd be extremely concerned. But I'm not concerned. So I'm still having trouble with my lips. And my heart rate today was 62, and as I say, my weight now is 161 pounds, or 11 stone 7, which is an overall weight loss of, what is that, 27 pounds, which is still quite a lot in 22 days. You know, when you think about it, that's still a lot of weight loss. And then I had more talking about weight loss. I had more comments about, or questions about, the yo-yo effect of putting the weight on. Well, my answer to that is, yeah, sure, I will put loads of weight on if I decide to revert back to unhealthy eating. There's no way I'm planning to do that. I'm going to go, in the first instant, I'm going to go back to 80-10-10 pure fruit and vegetables, and I'll spend 6 weeks taking it quite easy on that. Light fruits. I will progress on within that time. Obviously, within a few days, I'll probably progress onto a few bananas a day. I don't know how many, but to start with, it will be slow. Just liquidy fruit and stuff like that. Very high water content. Have some green smoothies and stuff, and then slowly work my way up. And let my metabolism rise. In Furman's book, he says it can take 6 weeks to get your metabolism back up, but obviously within that it depends on what you do. If you just sit on your backside for for all that time, don't do anything. My plan is to start rebuilding the moment that I feel that I've got some energy starting to come back. Then I'm going to start to rebuild, and it will be rebuilding in a different way this time. I'm really looking forward to getting back on the bike, although I wish the weather would do. Maybe the weather will be fine when I'm ready to cycle again. I'm missing that so much. My legs still feel quite muscular and they're solid. Not as solid as they were, but that's just because I haven't been used for a few weeks. I know it's going to be a bit painful to start that again, but I've got to start to work it out. I want to do some. I've got to do some sort of. I want to start to build up to. At the moment, I have to admit, I'm so weedy that I can't even do a push-up. Not a full push-up, and I'm going to get there, and I am going to be able to do push-ups. And I'm going to get stronger on my top half by building that. I might try and do a bit of running as well. But in answer to that comment or the question about am I going to put on weight, yeah, if I do put on weight, it's going to be muscle. It's not going to be fat. You know, the fat that I'm losing now is the fat that I gained when I was eating a crap diet years ago, and this is the remnants of it. You know, I lost a lot of weight over the last few years anyway. I've lost, since I started on, I've been doing this for 3 years in total, but not 100% raw, you know, with the juice feast and things like that, and I did high fat vegan, but I've still, where my weight is now to where I was is 5 stone, which I don't know what's 5 stone in pounds, just for anybody. I've got a calculator here. What is that? Yeah, so I've lost 70 pounds to where I was, but I know, you know, there's still a bit more to go. But the stuff that I've lost recently is just old toxic fat from the old, you know, the past eating of rubbish food and, you know, dairy and all that sort of stuff. So that's not going to come back anyway. And I've been told, and I'd love to believe this, is that once you start to refeed, when you know, especially with the right type of foods, and especially if you keep it fruit to start with, that you know, it's not so easy to put it back. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, doing the McDougall thing was another one that I've been thinking about that a lot. I don't know if it's just because of the cravings of being on this, but you know, I've been watching quite a lot of vids with Dr. McDougall doing it, and I really do rate the guy highly, and I believe a lot of what 80-10-10 is based on that anyway. But he takes a different approach, and he's not such a fruit. He's not a fruit man as such, and he's a starch man. He believes that starches of the same theme, low fat, very low fat. Eat as much as you want of the of the right foods, you know, and a lot of things like potatoes, and so, you know, you can eat more normally. When I say normally, more mainstream, not normally, because I think probably eating fruit is normal to humans, but more normal to mainstream, and it involves a lot of cooking, and yeah, it's sort of like filling comfort. It is comfort food. Somebody said about comfort. I suppose it is comfort. If you fill your belly with sort of like rice and beans and things like that, it's more comforting in a way than fruit. Especially if it's very cold outside, it can feel comforting. But you know, whether you eat fruit and it's cold outside or not, it doesn't make any difference, because once your body starts to eternally warm up as it starts to burn the fuel, you warm up anyway, you know. When I go out cycling in the winter, you know, I leave here and I think, oh God, it's so cold, you know. And I never wear a lot anyway, because I hate cycling with a lot of stuff on. And I cycle up you know, to get out of where I live at the moment. I've got a mile pull-up. Not a steep hill, but it's just a gentle climb. I suppose I climb 300 or 400 feet in a mile, so it's not a great deal. But that's enough to warm you up. By the time I get done that first mile, I'm warm, and I'll go out and do my ride, you know, 20-30 mile. By the time I get back, you know, I'm just like radiating warmth, and it can be freezing cold, and I'm just radiating warmth, and it's unbelievable. Well, you do get funny sort of after thing of once your body relaxes and you cool down again. So yeah, at the moment, in a morning way, I'm feeling really good. Very positive. This is just starting the last week. Then, you know, a week today, I'll be refeeding. Yeah, it seems weird. It seems really weird. The time has gone so slowly. I reiterate that to people, you know, about timing, because the time does go slow. In a strange sort of way, but time's an odd thing, because when you're going through bad times and then you look back on it afterwards, it's no different to any other time. It all goes quite quick. And this time, when I look back on 3 weeks, I think, oh, where's that gone? You know, I've been doing this since 27th of September. Was it? So I think I started this on the 27th of September, if I remember rightly. And now we're sort of, Yeah, 27th of September. Now we're like mid-October. It's really odd. You know, lost a bit of time there. And it's turning into a waffle again, as it so often does. I'm so happy that everybody's, you know, doing these vids again. You are my support. You people who do that are my support. You know, I had somebody send me a message about, you know, oh, you really should be doing a supervised fast. Anything over 3 days, you need to do a supervised fast. But my view on that one is that, you know, if you've got to do a supervised fast, as far as I know, there's nobody in the UK that does it. Maybe somebody will come back and tell me, actually, there is. So my options were to go to the US. So for a start, you've got a flight out there, and then you've got, you know, a lot of money to, you know, people that I really admire, like, you know, whether it's Dr. Graham or Clapper or any of these people who do these time, and I you know, I'm not putting them down in any way, because they do a fantastic job, and, you know, for the people that can afford to do that, all the best to them, you know. But to me, that would just be so stressful, because, you know, I have stuff going on in this country. I couldn't just let go of it, you know. This house we live in is quite high maintenance. Just to leave it for a month in winter is not a good idea, and just leave my wife here on her own in the middle of winter, I wouldn't enjoy that. So that would be a stress. So to me, this is ideal, you know, doing a fast here and just keeping an eye on it. And also with that sort of attitude, you're not, you know, why is fasting only for people who are able to pay for it? You know, fasting should be there for everybody. Fasting should be something that is, you know, the people who need it most, because often the people that need it most are the people who don't have very much. You know, they hardly have anything, so they become victims of the worst possible diets you can ever eat. They're the ones who tend up eating, I don't know, pies and chips and the really awful foods, you know, all the sort of junky stuff that people eat, you know, the fast food, and for some reason these people seem to drink lots of cola and stuff like that, you know, which is so bad for you and so awful. And they're the people that really need the help, you know. And instead of that, we're saying, well, only the rich can do this. Only the rich are able to fast, you know. And it's just sort of carries on the mainstream thing. And I don't think, you know, there's a risk in everything. Yeah, there is a risk in fasting. I think it's quite a big risk in certain ways. But when I go out on my bike, I think that risk is a lot more of just cycling on roads and being with people on the roads who aren't taking any notice of what's going on, who might be on their phone, or who just basically don't know how to control a car, don't understand about cyclists on the road, just not paying any attention to anything and not anticipating anything. You know, that is danger. Not doing a fast. The fast, providing you follow the guidelines, you know. Anybody can afford to buy a book. You can afford to buy a book and read about it, you know. But even a lot of the books say, "Oh, you should do a supervised fast," you know. But you know, just the logic of it. If you're vaguely fit, you're not going to run into trouble, you know. 90 is like 99.99% of the people that who do a fast of under 30 days are not going to run into any trouble. If you know, even thin people can fast for that sort of time without actually getting into a starvation mode. And there's no way I'm in any sort of starvation mode. I'm a fit, healthy person, and you know, I'm just the fact that I wake up in the morning. I'm here now talking to you like this. I have not eaten anything for 22 days. I'm not feeling weak. At the moment I feel I could do quite a few things. I'm quite happy to go out for a few mile walk. You know, I know if I start to climb hills it will be hard. If I know I can't cycle. If I start to lift things or whatever, I can't. I'm going to run out of energy. But just for sort of normal movements, it's fine. So yeah, I take that quite seriously, actually. Make fasting should be for everybody, you know, especially, you know, people who need it should have the right to fast, not have to pay not to go and pay to have the privilege, because what does that mean? It's just carrying on this whole wealth, divide, isn't it, really? Yeah. I just send my peace to anything. I'm going to say the same as always. Thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you for disliking or liking this vid. Please keep, you lot keep posting your vids, because that's what keeps me going, watching your vids, and for all the very kind comments and all the rest of it, people I haven't replied to, but I try and read everything, so thank you. And I'll pop another one on tomorrow, so this is an early one, and this is going to be a good day today. So peace be with you, and love, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.